Video.
Jennifer.
Hi.
We've got you.
Yes.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the Select Committee this afternoon, and thank you for taking the time to submit. And if you'd like to make your start, you've got 5 minutes.
Yep. Hello, my name is Jennifer. I'm born a female and born in New Zealand. I sit here today in front of a select committee to raise my concerns regarding the proposed changes to the BDMRR bill, most importantly in respect to a person changing their birth certificate. My first point, and the most important of them all, is that it appears that the Select Committee have been brainwashed by a postmodern ideology, thus ignoring basic scientific facts about the human race, is therefore that a woman is an adult human female and a girl is a juvenile human female. No amount of lipstick and changes of dresses a male wears will make him a woman. He is a male wearing a dress. No amount of surgery or drugs will make him a woman. Any male who says he is a male with gender dysphoria, and this is a mental illness in the DSM-5. I've spent my life being what I believe to be a good law-abiding citizen. I work and pay my taxes, I own my own home, and I pay my rates. Therefore, I expect the country that I live in to uphold and respect female sex-based rights so that I can, other females can, and future females can live here in peace and be offered safe and private spaces so we can live on this planet free from harm. I do not give my consent for this government or any other to hand over my female sex-based human rights to a male who says, by self-declaration, that he feels like a woman female. It is a scientific fact that there are 2 sexes, males with XY chromosomes and female with XX. We know this because human beings are a part of this planet and human beings need both female and male reproductive systems to reproduce. Females, women give birth, males do not. I sit here today and say to you I do not give consent to any human being being able to change their birth certificate. This is because no one can change sex. It is scientifically impossible. Your mother gave birth to you and only females can give birth. It is obviously a male who has complete disrespect for their mother to believe that now he is entitled to call himself a woman. He will never get pregnant. He will never give birth. He will never breastfeed. He will never have a menstrual cycle. If you allow a male to self-identify as a female and change his birth certificate, how are you going to uphold my sex-based human rights? How is this government going to provide accurate information and statistics if one of the most basic things can be changed? The answer is that you cannot. As a government, you will not be able to run this country successfully by allowing loopholes in the law in order for people to manipulate, lie, steal, and cheat from others. It is rather odd that with the BDMRR, you can just self-identify as the opposite sex without any medical interventions. But within the conversion therapy bill, you want to prosecute parents for not affirming a child being born in the wrong body and give them life-altering and non-reversible puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones. So, Select Committee, your story doesn't add up. Not only does it not add up, it is a disgrace to all New Zealanders. To sit in elected positions and force families and females of New Zealand to accept any male saying he is a female and enter into female-only spaces just because he feels like it is one of the most nonsensical and unethical things you could ever do. Just because I am born female should not mean that I am disadvantaged in any society. Females deserve to have their lives respected and acknowledged. What you are proposing is that a male can self-identify himself to be a woman and enter into female-only spaces. You really do have to ask yourself some serious questions regarding this. Any male who fights for the breakdown of boundaries around a woman's safe space isn't doing it for genuine good reasons. There is a bad motivation behind it, no matter how much you utter the words inclusion. Since I have mentioned the word inclusion, then it is rather obvious for me to say that females should be included in society also without being abused and are labelled offensive words for stating the obvious. Why are women in New Zealand and across the world being silenced and cancelled for we feel unsafe and we do not like and do not want males in our single-sex spaces? Is there something wrong with having a single-sex space? I was under the assumption that there is nothing wrong with being born a female and having a private and safe space to change before I get into a public swimming pool. I was under the assumption that a women's rape crisis shelter was for women only for obvious reasons. Is the Select Committee naive enough to believe that we don't have pedophiles, rapists, stalkers, perverts and sexual abusers within our community? I do not consent to any male playing in female-only sports. I do not consent to any male changing in a female change room. I do not consent to males who commit crimes being called women. I do not consent to males being housed in female-only prisons. As a registered...
Jennifer, I'm going to have to pull you out because you've had your time, but...
I've just got one last wee little bit of like half a minute.
Very quick. Go fast.
Okay. As a registered nurse, I do not advocate for any young girl to start breastbinding, taking cross-sex hormones or get a double mastectomy and then change their birth certificate. I worry about what your gender identity ideology is doing to young children, and I know my concerns are wholly justified considering our high rates of domestic violence towards females in New Zealand. You have no right to give away female sex-based human rights to any male. No human being can change sex, therefore no birth certificates should be being changed. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. And I'd point out that the Select Committee hasn't predetermined the result of this, and nor is it the Select Committee's work to put this before the Select Committee. This is the Minister or the government's job, and the Select Committee's role is to listen to people like you who we value, and thank you for making that submission to us.
Okay, thank you.
We'll just move on to